What's going on, everybody? We are back with another live edition of the Ad Podcast. We are here today with Mattia fosci. Mattia is the CEO of Anonymize.io, and super excited to learn a little bit more about what he does and why he's here at Cannes. We're at the New York on the Palais right now. Mattia, thanks so much for coming on and chatting with us for a little bit.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us more about yourself and tell us more about Anonymize. Yeah, let's get, so I'm going to say that one more time.
Yeah.
So tell us more about yourself. Tell us more about Anonymize. What do you guys do?
So I'm the co-founder and CEO of the company. We are a tech startup or scale-up, let's say. We do targeting and measurement and optimization on all impressions that don't have matched IDs, which is the majority of impressions in the open web and CTV.
Okay, interesting. I am pretty savvy on ad tech, but that might maybe a little bit over my basic understanding. So what's the primary issue? So the primary issue is that most measurement does not solve for matched IDs, and you guys are helping bridge that gap. What is matched ID and why is it important?
So the whole ecosystem right now requires a sync to happen between an identifier on the device, an identifier on the database of an SSP, and an identifier on the database of a DSP. The sync is becoming harder and harder to do because IDs are not only fewer in the ecosystem, but also they are living less. Their
so
TTL
shorter
is shorter.
lifespan and shorter amounts to target.
So the consequence of that is the advertisers are bidding on a smaller pool of people, and they are bidding against themselves. Their CPMs are going up. And the other thing that happens, particularly in CTV or anywhere where IDs are based on IP addresses, is IP addresses are technically switching from IPv4 to IPv6. And this IPv6 new spec rotates every 48 hours. So if you want to measure, if you want to look back period of 30 days or 60 days, you're very unlikely to find the user who's seen the ad actually converting because their ID will have rotated 15 times.
So it's really messing up attribution.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so you're solving for giving advertisers a larger pool of people to target, but also making sure that they can follow that person longer for the attribution window, and the net result of that is lower costs and better measurement.
That is precisely that, yes.
Very cool. That's interesting. And so your primary clients are the brand, the agency, the DSP, or everyone?
I think we help the ecosystem, I like to say. We clearly need to work with publishers in the first place.
Publishers to start.
But the end clients is the brand. Whether it's through an agency or direct, doesn't really change much. I think the pitch changes, the benefit's the same. I think brands will care a little bit more perhaps about reaching new audiences, share of voice. The agencies will care about hitting KPIs. So the cost side of things perhaps a little bit more.
How did you discover this problem in the industry, and what made you decide to start the company?
Well, actually, the company started to solve an impending cookie deprecation. It was single channel, now it's omni-channel. But actually, when we started transacting on IDs, on impressions that did not have an ID, we found out that DSPs weren't buying our traffic. It's like, okay, how big is this problem? And then we spoke to the DSPs and the SSPs and said, well, about 60% of impressions worldwide don't have a matched ID. And it's not a bug, it's a feature. That's how the system works. So it's like, oh, hang on a second, that's a big niche for us to focus on.
Why would you say, like you say it's not a bug, it's a feature. Why would it benefit anybody to not have matched IDs?
It doesn't benefit anybody, but I think the point is the infrastructure was built at a time where you would have plenty of IDs with a longer TTL, and the scale was there. But tech changes, privacy changes, has changed the picture. So now it's becoming more of an issue, and match rates have been declining for the past 10 years and will continue to decline because of this changes to IP addresses or changes to the new iOS, for instance. There's always the direction of travel is very, very clear.
Yeah, that's interesting. They're always trying to, devices are always trying to provide more privacy and transparency for their customers, but then still wanting to monetize their data. Publishers, it's like you said, there's an ecosystem and there's competing interests.
Well, can I be naughty?
Yeah, please, let's go.
There's going to be two internets, right? The logged in internet and the non-logged in internet. So those who actually can command a large user base of logged in users, it will win. So we need to change the rules of the games. We need to build an alternative so that all those environments where you can't afford to have a login still have addressable and measurable audiences. Otherwise, we're handing it over to a handful of platforms.
Interesting. So part of it is about consolidation and making sure the ad spend goes to quote-unquote premium inventory, things like that.
Yep.
Okay, interesting. All right, so what brought you to Cannes this year?
Oh man, this is an amazing place. To be
Why
honest,
not be here, right?
we are a European company with a foothold in the US, and this has saved me maybe 3 trips to New York.
I can imagine.
It's just a place where you find all the people you want to meet in a good mood, where you can talk business, but also get to know them personally.
Everybody's having a good time, but it gives you more opportunities to socialize, and chill out, make friends, versus just go to the office and talk.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
My understanding is you have a panel today.
Yes, we do.
What are you going to talk about?
So it's a panel with Index Exchange, another SSP called Seawire, and Monks, formerly Media Monks. And we're talking about closed-loop supply-side optimization, which is a new concept in the industry. It's something that we're launching with them. And it's basically the idea that you can measure and optimize even on impressions that are not understood by the DSP. So wherever the DSP sees an ID, they can do the optimization, where all the 60% of impressions that are currently completely ignored. The common wisdom is you can probably target an audience, but you wouldn't know how good your campaign, how well your campaign is performing, and you certainly cannot optimize. That's not true anymore. The tech is there. So that unlocks a lot of opportunity, a blue ocean of impressions that buyers can find cheaper, with bigger share of voice, and they can optimize against them.
So for some of these concepts you're talking about helping with matched IDs and the concept that you're building out with Media Monks, what type of savings are we talking about? Like, what CPMs are addressable by the old model? And when you guys added what you do, what kind of savings are we talking about?
Oh, this is very channel specific. Take the open web. I think if you target the same publishers in the blue ocean of non-addressable or non-matched impressions, you get pretty much 100% win rate.
Wow.
And the CPMs are about 50 to 60% cheaper.
That's crazy. So you're talking about massive amounts of share of voice, but also a huge savings, which probably nets out to a strong increase in performance.
And it's a win-win for everybody, right? We're not taking business away from anybody. We are helping publishers
monetizing inventory that's basically remnant, unwasted inventory.
Exactly. That's that. So publishers happy because they monetize. Advertisers are happy because they find new audiences, they pay less. SSPs and DSPs are happy because there's less bid duplication. There's more, the cost of sending bid requests are not unanswered, it drops, because all you want as an SSP and a DSP is to send something the DSP buys. So if we can make sure there's a match and there's a buyer, that's 100% win rate is high margin for you. So it's just like one of those opportunities that you ask yourself, why has nobody done anything about it? The answer is not easy. You gotta build the pipes to make this happen, and this is what we're doing.
Are some of the audiences unique audiences too, because they're using VPNs or using things to log out, not log in? They're more privacy concerned people, so maybe you're adding a net new audience, and they probably have some interesting characteristics based on how they use and watch and leverage the internet.
That'd be that, but there's also your average Joe who has an IP address that rotates every 48 hours, and the system doesn't recognize that anymore.
And that's just based on their technology on the device.
It's not just the privacy fanatics like I could be. It's anybody could be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, fascinating stuff. I felt like I learned a lot today. If people watching want to learn more about how to leverage your technology and implement some of these strategies, where's the best place for them to learn more? And where should they go if they want to connect with you directly?
Well, just go on LinkedIn. You find me. I have an exotic name, Mattia fosci. There's only one of me, I think, in this industry. And Anonymized is a vendor where you can speak to our partners. Index is doing an excellent job enabling custom algorithm, which we use to power part of our solution. So there's a growing movement who's unlocking this opportunity. So yeah, reach out if you want to know more.
Awesome. Well, Mattia, thanks for coming on and telling us a little bit about what you're up to.
No, thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Great to be here.
Cheers.
Thank you.